What about the marketability of interconnected standalones? My name is Sheena. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. This is obviously related to people who want to write a series of books, and I generally advise that you instead say that this is like a standalone with serious potential, or it's the first in a planned series and can stand alone if needed. And Kayla comes in and says, well, what about interconnected standalones? And this is a valid question, but I do want to answer this in two separate ways. So, one, none of the stuff that I'm talking about is marketability. Series are marketable. People like series of books. There are people who love series so much that they will not buy anything in a series until it is completed because they want to be able to have the entire experience. That, however, makes series a big financial risk. And so there, I'm never questioning whether or not your book is good enough to sell. It's whether or not it is good enough for somebody to want to take the risk on it in the first place when you haven't proven yourself as an author. Series are financially risky, even though they are marketable. We don't know that this particular one's going to hit the market. Like, even things that are marketable don't always sell. You know that there are underrated books out there, books that you love that are amazing and incredible, and nobody seems to be talking about. And this happens to series as well. So this is all your stuff is marketable, but Kayla does point out interconnected standalones are a little bit of an exception to this series rule because you do not have to sell all of them for the story to make sense. These are interconnected standalones. They are all standalones. You can sell one book and it is a full and complete story arc, and your audience will walk away satisfied with that story. Now, if it does well and you sell a two-book deal or a three-book deal and they all happen to be related to this first book, people could start on book two or on book three. And if you wrote book one and it didn't get picked up with an agent and you shelve it and you moved on to book two in the series, you can query book two in a series of interconnected standalones because they are standalones. They aren't a series. They aren't dependent on one another. They aren't sequential. There isn't a prequel or a sequel. Like, there is no order in which you have to read them. You can continue to improve your writing and get better and stronger and query with a new book every year until you get good enough to be able to be represented by a literary agent and get your foot in the door. Now, you're going to see this structure most commonly in romances. Second to that is going to be mysteries, and third behind that is going to be thrillers. This is not as common in other genres, but let's make it more common. Let's write more interconnected standalones in fantasy and science fiction. Let's write more interconnected standalones in dystopian fiction and literary fiction. Let's do more of this. So it gives the author the flexibility to be working on the series and the world and the characters and the people that they really are attached to without the baggage of having to sell it as a series. Let's do more of this.